You may feel empty, but God is preparing overflow. You may feel forgotten, but God is writing a comeback. You may feel stuck, but God is building a door where there wasn't one. God specializes in turning endings into beginnings. Joseph was thrown into a pit, yet the pit led him to the palace. David was overlooked, yet the overlooked boy became the king. Lazarus died, yet Jesus turned death itself into a testimony. Your story is no different. Where you feel like life buried you, God is about to resurrect something powerful. Where you feel like everything ended, God is about to begin something unexpected. God is not done. God is not silent. God is not ignoring you. He's preparing your next chapter. You didn't fail. You didn't fall apart. You didn't lose everything. You're being prepared. Prepared for blessings that require maturity. Prepared for opportunities that require strength. Prepared for relationships that require wisdom. Prepared for levels of favor that require depth. Pain grows you. Delay trains you. Disappointment refocuses you. And God uses all of it. So don't quit. Don't stop believing. Don't give up on what God spoke over your life. If God wanted to leave you, He would have left you long ago. But He didn't. And He won't. You may not see it right now, but heaven already sees your next door. Heaven already knows your next opportunity. Heaven already prepared the right people. Heaven already arranged divine connections. Your story isn't falling apart, it's falling into place. God is aligning things you haven't even prayed for yet. God is speaking your name in rooms you've never entered. God is preparing blessings bigger than the disappointments you survived. The enemy wants you to quit right now because he knows you're closer than you think. So today, bury your expectations. Release your disappointment. Lay your questions at the feet of Jesus. And lift your eyes to heaven. The God who brought you this far is the same God who is about to show you why. There are moments in life when you look around and wonder, God, why did this happen? Why did this season turn out like this? You prayed, you believed, you expected something beautiful, but instead, you were left holding disappointment. And the enemy whispers, see? God forgot you. God didn't hear you. You're stuck. But hear me carefully today, your disappointment is not a sign of God's absence. Sometimes it is the doorway to a new chapter you never imagined. God is not punishing you, He is positioning you. There are seasons where God allows something to end so that something greater can begin. There are moments where God lets your plans fall apart so His plan can fall into place. This season of disappointment is not your burial, it is your planting. Because what you thought died, God is using to grow something bigger. You tried to hold on to something God was asking you to release. You tried to make people stay who were never meant for your destiny. You tried to keep doors open that God had already closed. But now God is saying, let it go. Give it to me. Have a funeral for the expectations that broke you. Not because your dreams were wrong, not because you were weak, but because God has something better than what you expected. When you bury what you thought life would look like, God resurrects what life should look like. When you leave your expectations with God, He begins to show you the path that was hidden behind your tears. You cannot see what's next if you're still holding on to what hurt you. You cannot step into your future if your hands are still full of yesterday. So today, let God heal you. Let Him touch the places in your heart that no one sees. Let Him pull out the disappointment, the confusion, the fear, and the questions. Because once your heart heals, your eyes will open. And when God opens your eyes, you will see that nothing was wasted. No tear was ignored. No prayer was forgotten. No disappointment was random. God has been working behind TH. The night is quieter than usual, almost too quiet. The kind of silence that makes a person stop scrolling, stop walking, stop pretending to be okay, and listen. Because somewhere in that silence, a voice begins to rise. Soft at first, then bold, then unmistakable. My child. I am speaking to you. This isn't a random feeling. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't just another video. This is a divine interruption. God says, you have been running on empty for too long. Trying to carry battles that were never meant to be yours. You've been pretending to smile. Pretending to be strong. Pretending to be unaffected. But I saw the moment you broke in private. He saw the moment when you sat quietly in your room. Telling everyone you were fine. But inside your chest was a storm. You know that moment. When the weight was too heavy. When the thought crossed your mind. Maybe I'm not enough, maybe I'm not chosen, maybe God doesn't see me. But God answers you now. I saw you. I heard you. And I have never removed my eyes from you, not even for a second. There were times you should have fallen apart. But you didn't. There were situations designed to break you. But you survived. There were people who tried to crush your spirit. But heaven lifted you up from underneath. God says. There are victories you don't even know you've won. Because I fought battles you never saw. You survived nights where you didn't know how you'd make it through. You survived storms that others would have drowned in. And even though you feel tired right now, God calls you, my warrior. Not because you're always strong, but because you keep getting up. And God is about to shift something in your life. Listen carefully. I am preparing a blessing that has your name on it. Not your friend's name. Not your family's name. Yours. Now God is lifting you. Not slowly. Not quietly. But boldly. Confidently. Powerfully. Your spirit is rising. Your confidence is returning. Your faith is sharpening. You're beginning to feel something shifting inside, a strength you haven't felt in years, a fire you thought had burned out, a clarity you didn't know you needed. This is God awakening the parts of you that life tried to bury. This is God reminding you who you are, not forgotten, but chosen. Not weak, but strengthened. Not lost, but guided. Not abandoned, but deeply loved. There is a purpose on your life so strong that the enemy tried to shut it down before it even began. The attacks were not random, they were targeted. The warfare was not accidental, it was intentional. The enemy saw your potential long before you did. He knew that once you recognized your identity, you would become unstoppable. And that is exactly what you are becoming. Your spirit is learning to walk in authority. Your mind is learning to reject lies and embrace truth. Your heart is learning to trust God with a level of courage you didn't know you had. You're not just surviving anymore, you're transitioning into victory. You're not just healing, you're transforming. You're not just getting through, you're rising above. God is preparing to release blessings that will silence every doubt. He is preparing to open doors that once felt permanently shut. He is preparing to restore joy you haven't felt in a long time. You are going to wake up one morning and realize the heaviness you've been carrying has lifted, and the peace you prayed for has finally arrived. What's ahead of you is not ordinary. It is supernatural. It carries God's fingerprints. It carries heaven's timing. It carries divine strategy. And when it unfolds, you will know that it was never your strength that carried you, it was God's grace holding every piece of your story together. There is a moment in every person's life where everything feels like it's shifting at once. You look around and realize the things you once depended on don't feel the same. The people you trusted aren't standing where they used to stand. The confidence you carried feels thinner than it used to be. And deep inside, you find yourself asking, God, where are you leading me? Why does everything feel so unfamiliar? But God wants you to hear something today, something beautiful, something powerful, something deeply personal. He is not taking you backwards. He is pulling you forward. He is not removing things to leave you empty, He is clearing space so He can fill you with something far greater than what you lost. Every shift, every change, every uncomfortable moment is a sign that God is preparing you for something you prayed for, even if you forgot you prayed for it. You are stepping into a time where God is revealing who you truly are, not the version people expected, not the version your past shaped, not the version your wounds created, but the version God designed long before you were born. The version that carries destiny. The version that carries spiritual authority. The version that carries light. The version that hell fears. Life has tried to convince you that you are small. Situations try to convince you that you are powerless. Pain tried to convince you that you are broken. But God is whispering into your spirit, you are none of those things. You are mine. You were created with purpose. You were formed with intention. I placed my fingerprints on your soul, and nothing in this world can erase what I have written over your life. You've walked through seasons where your strength ran thin. You have faced nights where you felt invisible, unheard, and forgotten. But those moments didn't define you, they refined you. They shaped your character. They deepened your compassion. They sharpened your discernment. And most of all, they forced you to discover God in